Day 721. Saturday, August 16th. Nehemiah 10:11. Nehemiah 10:1-39. Now those who placed their seal on the document were Nehemiah the governor, the son of Hakaliah, and Zedekiah, Sariah, Azariah, Jeremiah, Pashur, Amariah, Melchijah, Hattush, Shebaniah, Maluk, Harim, Meremoth, Obadiah, Daniel, Ginnathan, Baruch, Meshullam, Abijah, Mijamin, Maaziah, Bilgai, and Shemaiah. These were the priests. The Levites, Jeshua the son of Azaniah, Binnui of the sons of Henadad, and Kadmiel. Their brethren Shebaniah, Hodijah, Kelita, Peliah, Hanan, Micha, Rehob, Hashabiah, Zakur, Sherebiah, Shebaniah, Hodijah, Bani, and Beninu. The leaders of the people, Parosh, Pahath Moab, Elam, Zatu, Bani, Boni, Azgad, Bebai, Adonijah, Bigvai, Adin, Ater, Hezekiah, Azur, Hodijah, Hashum, Bezai, Harif, Anathoth, Nabai, Magpiash, Meshullam, Hezir, Meshezabel, Zadok, Jaddua, Pelatiah, Hanan, Anaiah, Hoshea, Hananiah, Hashub, Halohesh, Pilha, Shobek, Rehum, Hashabna, Maaseiah, Ahijah, Hanan, Anan, Maluk, Harim, and Bana. Now the rest of the people, the priests, the Levites, the gatekeepers, the singers, the Nethinim, and all those who had separated themselves from the peoples of the lands to the law of God, their wives, their sons, and their daughters, everyone who had knowledge and understanding, these joined with their brethren, their nobles, and entered into a curse and an oath to walk in God's law, which was given by Moses the servant of God, and to observe and do all the commandments of the Lord our Lord, and his ordinances and his statutes. We would not give our daughters as wives to the peoples of the land, nor take their daughters for our sons. If the peoples of the land brought wares or any grain to sell on the Sabbath day, we would not buy it from them on the Sabbath or on a holy day, and we would forego the 7th year's produce and the exacting of every debt. Also we made ordinances for ourselves, to exact from ourselves yearly 1/3 of a shekel for the service of the house of our God, for the showbread, for the regular grain offering, for the regular burnt offering of the Sabbaths, the new moons, and the set feasts, for the holy things, for the sin offerings to make atonement for Israel, and all the work of the house of our God. We cast lots among the priests, the Levites, and the people, for bringing the wood offering into the house of our God, according to our fathers' houses, at the appointed times year by year, to burn on the altar of the Lord our God, as it is written in the law. And we made ordinances to bring the firstfruits of our ground, and the firstfruits of all fruit of all trees, year by year, to the house of the Lord, to bring the firstborn of our sons and our cattle, as it is written in the law, and the firstborn of our herds and our flocks, to the house of our God, to the priests who minister in the house of our God, to bring the firstfruits of our dough, our offerings, the fruit from all kinds of trees, the new wine and oil, to the priests, to the storerooms of the house of our God, and to bring the tithes of our land to the Levites, for the Levites should receive the tithes in all our farming communities. And the priest, the descendant of Aaron, shall be with the Levites when the Levites receive tithes, and the Levites shall bring up 1/10 of the tithes to the house of our God, to the rooms of the storehouse. For the children of Israel, and the children of Levi, shall bring the offering of the grain, of the new wine and the oil, to the storerooms, where the articles of the sanctuary are, where the priests who minister and the gatekeepers and the singers are, and we will not neglect the house of our God. Nehemiah 11:1-36, NKJV. Now the leaders of the people dwelt at Jerusalem. The rest of the people cast lots to bring 1 out of 10 to dwell in Jerusalem, the holy city, and 9/10 were to dwell in other cities. And the people blessed all the men who willingly offered themselves to dwell at Jerusalem. These are the heads of the province who dwelt in Jerusalem. But in the cities of Judah everyone dwelt in his own possession in their cities, Israelites, priests, Levites, Nethinim, and descendants of Solomon's servants. Also in Jerusalem dwelt some of the children of Judah, and of the children of Benjamin. The children of Judah, Athaiah the son of Uzziah the son of Zechariah, the son of Amariah, the son of Shephatiah, the son of Mahalalel of the children of Perez, and Messiah the son of Baruch, the son of Colonel Hosea, the son of Haziah, the son of Adiah, the son of Joiarib, the son of Zechariah, the son of Shiloni. All the sons of Perez who dwelt at Jerusalem were 468 valiant men, and these are the sons of Benjamin: Sallu the son of Meshullam, the son of Jod, the son of Pedaiah, the son of Koliah, the son of Maaseiah, the son of Ithiel, the son of Jeshiah, and after him Gabai and Salai, 928. Joel the son of Zichri was their overseer, and Judah the son of Senua was second over the city of the priests. Jedaiah the son of Joiarib, and Jachin, Sariah the son of Hilkiah, the son of Meshullam, the son of Zadok, the son of Merioth, the son of Ahitub, was the leader of the house of God. Their brethren who did the work of the house were 822, and Adiah the son of Jeroham, the son of Pelaliah, the son of Amzi, the son of Zechariah, the son of Pashur, the son of Malchijah, and his brethren, heads of the fathers' houses, were 242, and Amashai the son of Azarel, the son of Azai, the son of Meshillemoth, the son of Immer, and their brethren, mighty men of valor, were 128. Their overseer was Zabdiel the son of one of the great men. Also of the Levites, Shemaiah the son of Hasub, the son of Azrikam, the son of Hashabiah, the son of Buni, Shabbatai and Jozabad, of the heads of the Levites, had the oversight of the business outside of the house of God, Mattaniah the son of Micah, the son of Zabdi, the son of Asaph the leader who began the thanksgiving with prayer, Bakbukiah, the second among his brethren, and Abda, the son of Shemua, the son of Galal, the son of Jeduthun. All the Levites in the holy city were 284. Moreover the gatekeepers, Akub, Talmon, and their brethren who kept the gates, were 172. And the rest of Israel of the priests and Levites were in all the cities of Judah, everyone in his inheritance. But the Nethinim dwelt in Ophel, and Zihah and Gishpa were over the Nethinim. Also the overseer of the Levites at Jerusalem was Uzzi the son of Bani, the son of Hashabiah, the son of Mattaniah, the son of Micha, of the sons of Asaph, the singers in charge of the service of the house of God. For it was the king's command concerning them that a certain portion should be for the singers, a quota day by day. Pethahiah the son of Meshezabel, of the children of Zerah the son of Judah, was the king's deputy in all matters concerning the people. And as for the villages with their fields, some of the children of Judah dwelt in Kirjath Arba and its villages, Dibon and its villages, Jacobzeel and its villages, in Jeshua Moladah, Beth Pelet, Hazar Shual, and Beersheba and its villages, in Ziklag and Makana and its villages, in On Rimmon, Zorah, Jarmuth, Zanoah Adullam and their villages, in Lachish and its fields, in Azekah and its villages. They dwelt from Beersheba to the valley of Hinnom. Also the children of Benjamin from Geba dwelt in Michmash, Ijah, and Bethel, and their villages, in Anathoth, Nob, Ananiah, in Hazor, Ramah, Gittaim, in Hadid, Zeboim, Nebalat, in Lod, Ono, and the valley of craftsmen. Some of the Judean divisions of Levites were in Benjamin. Daily Deep Dive, the UCG reading plan states, it is apparently still the 24th day of the 7th month, see chapters 8 to 9. Nehemiah lists the signers of the covenant made on this day, see Nehemiah 9:38. The way someone signed a document in the ancient world was similar to the use of a wax seal in more recent times. A distinctive seal was pressed into soft clay. The pattern of the seal showed what authority issued that document. Nelson Study Bible, note on Nehemiah 10:1. Nehemiah was the first to sign. Verses 2 to 8 then list the priests who placed their seals on the covenant. Some of these names appear in a later list as heads of priestly houses, Nehemiah 12:11 to 20. 21 priests who were heads of households signed the agreement in the name of the houses and families of their respective classes. Ezra's name does not appear, perhaps indicating that he was not the head of a household, note on Nehemiah 10:2 to 8. It could also be that Ezra wrote the document, serving not as a representative of the people in this covenant, but as a mediator between the people and God, perhaps alongside the high priest Eliashib, whose name does not appear here either. 17 Levites, some of whom later appear as heads of Levitical orders, see Nehemiah 12:8, also signed Nehemiah 10:9 to 13, as did 44 civil leaders, verses 14 to 27. As for the rest of the people, though they did not themselves sign, they did agree to the terms of the covenant, which called for a curse on them if they failed to keep their oath of obedience to the law that God gave through Moses, verses 28 to 29. Special mention is given in the covenant to not intermarrying with people from the neighboring nations, verse 30. It could be that this problem was given consideration because of what happened prior to Ezra's governorship, see Ezra 9:10. However, it could also refer to the resurfacing of the problem as later discovered by Nehemiah 13:23 to 30. As was mentioned in the Beyond Today Bible commentary on the previous chapter, the reference to the people having separated themselves from the peoples of the lands in Nehemiah 10:28 and Nehemiah 9:2 have led some to conclude that the events of chapters 8-10 occurred much later in Nehemiah's administration than where they fit in arrangement order. Compare Nehemiah 13:3. Yet it could be that this covenant came early in Nehemiah's administration, and the problems arose later in spite of it. The biblical record demonstrates time and again that knowing what God wanted them to do was no guarantee that the people would do so. Another concern addressed in the covenant is the buying of wares and grain, that is, doing one's shopping for the coming days, on the Sabbath. Nehemiah 10:31. Here again is a very specific problem that Nehemiah later dealt with as governor. See Nehemiah 13:15-22. Perhaps this was an issue addressed early on in Nehemiah's administration that defiantly returned at a later time. The Sabbath command is appropriately known as the test commandment. Compare Exodus 16, especially verse 4, because it presents a strong challenge for people to set aside their normal everyday wants and business in order to worship God. On the other hand, if the chapter arrangement of Nehemiah is not chronological, it could be that the problem occurred late and that this covenant followed it. Since the two problems of intermarriage and Sabbath breaking occur in both contexts, the latter seems a distinct possibility. As the Expositor's Bible Commentary notes on Nehemiah 10:31, the provisions of VV 30,134 may have been a code drawn up by Nehemiah to correct the abuses listed in chapter 13, for example VV 1522. The people also agreed in the covenant to observe the sabbatical year, that is, in every seventh year they would leave their fields uncultivated to allow the nutrients in the soil to build up, thereby preventing the depletion of the land, and cancel debts owed them. Nehemiah 10:31, see Exodus 23:10-11, Leviticus 2:5-17, Deuteronomy 15:1-6. They further agreed to pay a temple tax of 1/3 of a shekel for the ongoing expense of temple worship services, similar to the half shekel paid by the Israelites in Moses' day for the tabernacle. See Exodus 30:11-16. Expositors lists a few possible explanations as to why the offering should be 1/3 rather than a half shekel. One, some maintain that the half shekel of Exodus 3:16, Exodus 38:25-28, was meant as a one-time offering for the construction of the tabernacle, and therefore has no bearing on the offering in Nehemiah 10:32. Two others argue that the offering was reduced from 1/2 to 1/3 because of economic impoverishment. 3. Some argue that the later shekel was based on a heavier standard, thus 1/3 of the later shekel was equal to 1/2 of the earlier shekel, that is, the later Babylonian Persian shekel was 21 grams, whereas the former Phoenician shekel was 14 grams, hence 1/3 the former was equal to 1/2 the latter. Note on verse 32. Verse 34 says that lots were cast to determine who would provide the wood offering and in what order. Though no such offering was directly mentioned in the law, it is clear that the perpetually burning altar fire would have required an ongoing supply of wood. Compare Leviticus 6:12-13. Josephus mentions the festival of wood offering on the 14th day of the 5th month Ab, when all the people were accustomed to bring wood for the altar. Wars of the Jews, Book 2, Chap. 17, Seki 6, the Mishnah 10:4-5, lists 9 times when certain families brought wood. Note on Nehemiah 10:34. The covenant further confirms that the people would be faithful in the offering of the firstfruits and firstborn, and in the payment of tithes. Verses 35-38. The focus of these commitments is brought out well in the last words of the document, "We will not neglect the house of our God." Verse 39. Like Sabbath breaking and intermarriage, failure to provide for the temple and priesthood through tithes and offerings was yet another matter specifically addressed by Nehemiah in chapter 13 verses 10-14. Lending further support to the possibility that the covenant of chapter 10 was made after the events of chapter 13. As the house of our God today is His church, we should see in all this a parallel for us. We must all be committed to separating ourselves from the world, obeying God in all areas of our lives and providing for the needs of the church and the work He has given it to do. The people of Jerusalem and other towns of Judea. In chapter 5, Nehemiah had been concerned with the lack of people living in Jerusalem, and a census was taken of the Jews of Judea with that concern in mind. Now we see that this was to provide the groundwork for a redistribution of the population so as to move more people into the capital. Nehemiah's solution was to tithe from the outlying areas, directing 1/10 of the people from around the country to relocate to Jerusalem. This was determined by lot Nehemiah 10:1, as was the responsibility for the wood offering in the previous chapter, Nehemiah 10:34. The casting of lots, small stones or pieces of wood, was viewed by the Jews as a pious way of determining God's will. Thus Nehemiah left the choice of those who should move to Jerusalem up to God. The practice was used in choosing portions of the land to be occupied by the original conquerors of Canaan in Joshua's time. Lawrence Richards, The Bible Reader's Companion, 1991, p. 320. Yet notice from verse 2 that those who moved did so as a willing offering of themselves. To uproot from family and friends, and move to a distant place to forge new friendships and a new life is never an easy thing. Yet they were willing to move for the sake of serving God, just as people through the ages have done and still do to serve God's work and purpose. Verses 3 to 24 list various residents of Jerusalem and some of their responsibilities. Verses 25 to 36 then list people in outlying areas. As in other passages regarding the people of Judea following the Babylonian exile, we can see here that only 2 tribes of Israel are represented besides the priests and Levites, Judah and Benjamin. The people of the tribe of Judah dwelt in 17 towns and their surrounding villages. The Benjamites lived in 15 towns. The limits of the Judean settlement after the return from Babylon have been confirmed by archaeological evidence. None of the Wittwd, the official designation of the Persian province of Judea coins, have been found outside the area demarcated by these verses. Expositor's Bible Commentary, note on verses 25 to 30, end.